The 2017 Ford Focus sedan. If you are looking for value and an all-around good car that has been evolved continuously over the past few years, you are looking at it. I'm Jay, and welcome to this latest episode of Car Buzz Unboxing Reviews. I want to thank Future Ford of Sacramento for letting us come on down and film today. So, the Ford Focus. Now, this was a car that was first launched for the U.S. market in 1999, and it was a replacement for, if you remember, the old Ford Escort. Now, this is currently, believe it or not, globally in its third generation. In the U.S., it's still its second generation model. And this particular one went on sale in 2011. It was given a midlife update for the 2016 model year. So as you can imagine, Ford has just continuously updated this car over the past few years, and it's approaching the end of its life cycle. But I think right now is a very good time to buy because, like I mentioned, you're getting a very evolved and refined and fixed up car that, well, if there were problems, Ford has resolved them by now, and that's a really good thing. Now, this generation Ford Focus, again, because it's getting a little old, it may not be the fastest or the sleekest looking design-wise, but it is still just excellent value, and you're getting a lot for the money because you're just, well, it's got some premium materials here. And the exterior here is, as I said, I'll get into its design in a few more minutes. You can get in a couple different body styles. Like this is obviously the sedan. You can also get it as a hatchback too. If you want it as a hatchback, it costs an extra $1,590. And step inside here. They call this interior color charcoal black. These are all cloth seats. You can get the leather, but you're going to have to upgrade to higher trim levels. And speaking of which, what are those trim levels? Well, you have the base S model, which is only available as a sedan. Then you have the SE, which is this one here, the SEL, and titanium. Now, the SE, SEL, and titanium you can also get as a hatchback. And then they have three kind of niche hatchbacks as well. You have the EV, electric vehicle, as well as the Ford Focus ST and the Focus RS, which are those hot hatchback pocket rockets that are just a completely different league than this base SE sedan here. But the overall interior, especially this dashboard design, I really like it. I remember the first generation Focus that was sold in the US. It never impressed me. It was, it just reminded me too much of the Escort that it replaced, and it just wasn't good enough. But in Europe, they were getting a much better Ford Focus. And, when this third generation came out, Ford listened and made it a global car. In fact, in 2014, or as of 2014, the Focus is the most common car in the UK, the United Kingdom. So there you go. And of course, you can get 3 passengers in the rear seats. I think it's going to be a very tight squeeze for 3 full-size adults. 2 adults is best, or maybe 3 children. And the overall fit and finish is pretty good here, I have to say. Compared to older Ford models from, let's say, a decade ago, the American automaker has certainly come a long way. And the overall dash design, like I was saying, this is nice. It's kind of premium, it's sporty, and yet you're looking at a car that is, for the most part, the base model. It doesn't have a whole lot of extra features. And I was excited to actually have a chance to take a look at more of a stripped down model because I know there's a lot of people out there who, well, they don't want the more premium models. They don't want to spend the money. I understand that. They want good, reliable transportation, and that is what the Ford Focus is. See, right here, that screen, that is just the base screen. It is Sync. It is not Ford's new Sync 3. You have to pay extra for that, about a couple $1,000s in a higher trim package. But again, not everybody wants to pay the money. They don't need to have the latest technological bits and pieces here. This system right here is good enough. It has an AM/FM stereo and single CD player, MP3 player, and 6 speakers. Other standard features in the interior, you get 4-way passenger adjustable seat, 4 cup holders, cruise control, dual illumination, vanity mirrors, illuminated entry, tilt and telescopic steering column, air conditioning, rear view camera, and power windows and locks. Now, only a few years ago, not every new car had power windows and locks standard, but well, times have changed. Now, this car does have a few extra features that it comes with. For an example, it has the cold weather package for $645. That includes all-weather floor mats, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, and heated mirrors. There's also the power seat package for $295. Instead of the 6-way adjustable driver, manually adjustable driver seat, you have an 8-way power driver seat instead. I really recommend that. I like that. And for another $445, you can get this power code remote start system, which is nice. An extra $195 will get you SiriusXM Radio. So this car, like I mentioned, it is the SE model. It is one step up trim-wise from the base S model. And combined with a few extra features, I think for a lot of people, this is all they're going to really want. So let's talk safety here. And like I said, because his car is several years old, it's been updated, it's been evolved, it now has a 5-star overall US government crash test rating. Also comes standard with dual front airbags, driver's knee airbag, front seat mounted side impact airbags, side curtain airbags, and a tire pressure monitoring system. It also comes with a reverse sensing system for an extra $255. Not a bad little investment in my opinion. You also have that little driver's trip computer there and in the gauge cluster. Again, nothing fancy schmancy, very basic. It just tells you what you need to know and that's it. But you see that 8-way power driver's seat there. I do recommend that. $295 more instead of the 6-way manually adjustable driver's seat. This will be very good, especially for shorter drivers. They can get a better seating position that way. So how does this thing drive? Well, in my opinion, I heard a little too much road noise at highway speeds, but otherwise this is fairly fun to drive. Now, I want to be clear. This is no Focus ST or Ford Focus RS. It's not even close. But I think Ford did a nice job tuning the suspension and just giving an overall, maybe slightly less than a standard economy car feel to it. Now, the rear seats here, they're comfortable. However, I think it's a little snug back there. Now, because this car dates back to 2011, the competition, such as the new Hyundai Elantra, have come up and they've grown in size as well. Yeah, we're doing that now too. I just want to give you some perspective here with a child safety seat here, in addition to a full-size adult. Alright, well, so let's take a look at this trunk here. Now, like I said, you can get the hatchback, 5-door hatchback, for about an extra $1,600. But if you want the sedan, you're going to have just, again, this basic trunk, 13 cubic feet of cargo space, plus 60-40 split folding rear seats. Now, if it were up to me, I would go for the hatchback. I just like the look of it more. I think it's a more versatile car. But then again, I know some people have complained with the rear seat pillar. It's a little wide, the D pillar, and there's a bit of a blind spot there. So if you want the sedan, go for it. But I personally recommend the hatchback. You just make the most use of space for not a whole lot more money, in my opinion. And for some other people, this is good enough. Again, standard 13 cubic feet of cargo space. Folding those seats flat, you get quite a bit more. So under the hood here, what do we got? Well, this is a naturally aspirated 2-liter inline-four, 160 horsepower, 146 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission, which costs an extra $1,095 and sends power to the front wheels only. Now for 2017, you can also get the new but smaller turbocharged 1-liter 3-cylinder engine with 123 horsepower and 125 pound-feet of torque. Alright, performance 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.5 seconds. Top speed is electronically limited to about 121 miles per hour. Fuel economy 27 miles per gallon in the city. Combined, this is according to Ford and the EPA, 40 miles per gallon on the highway. 40 miles per gallon on the highway and 31 miles per gallon combined. Total weight for the vehicle is just over 3,000 pounds. And like I was saying before, you heard that engine there, that new turbocharged 1-liter 3-cylinder for 2017. It is actually the smallest engine in the EcoBoost family. In fact, it's even smaller than some motorcycle engines. And that engine is kind of cool because it comes standard with a 6-speed manual. So looking at this exterior here, this car is painted race red. You're looking at these 16-inch painted aluminum wheels. Other standard features: active grille shutters, automatic halogen headlamps, manually folding mirrors, and those mirrors also have turn signal indicators built into them. So overall, is it a nice looking car? Yes. I think the middle-life update for 2016 really improved the front, and it was a little too angled for me, and they smoothed out the lines here, and I think this looks a lot better, but there's some people who still think that front grille looks very Aston Martin-like, and I tend to agree with them. So what's some of the competition? Well, you have the Mazda 3, the Honda Civic, Hyundai Elantra, Kia Forte, Toyota Corolla, Subaru Impreza, and the Volkswagen Jetta. Now, it's a very compact, very tight compact sedan market there, and all those started around $18,000 to $20,000 and top off in, let's say, the low to mid $30,000 range. Pricing for this Focus, well, the base S trim begins at $16,775. The SE trim that you're looking at begins at $18,175. But this car comes with $3,000 worth of options, plus an $875 destination fee. Grand total for this, $22,395. Not bad at all. The average new car in the US right now is around $33,000, so you're quite a bit below the average here. But if you want the top trim titanium sedan for this, that begins at $23,575, and that'll top off at around $26,000. So you're going to be paying well above just over $25,000 for a fully loaded Focus titanium sedan, and I think that's maybe a little too much for some unless you get a really good deal. But again, for the average car buyer, the Focus SE, whether you get that the sedan or the hatchback, is a very smart choice. You're getting a lot of car for the money. So what do I like here? Well, if you try really hard and you drive quite slow, you might be able to get that claimed 40 miles per gallon highway rating. Now, I thought the overall fit and finish is a nice quality, and the interior materials are pretty nice for this class. Now, what don't I like? Well, I think this is kind of slow to accelerate, and like I mentioned, it's kind of noisy at highway speed, and the rear seat is also a bit snug. And this just goes with this car or any Focus sedan in general. I really do prefer the styling of the hatchback better, so it's just a more versatile vehicle. But the bottom line is, if you're looking for a compact sedan or hatchback with a lot of value, decent enough fuel economy, and a good price, this is it. If you're looking for something sportier in a similar price range, consider a higher trim level Focus or the Mazda 3. But I'm out of time for today, so everyone, thanks so much for watching. Any more questions for me, just leave them in the comment section below. And I'm always looking for suggestions for future unboxing reviews. If you have any of those suggestions, also leave them for me in the comment section below. Be sure to read the full review of the 2017 Ford Focus sedan on carbuzz.com. Be sure to subscribe to the Carbuzz Unboxing YouTube channel, and I'll see you all next time.